Good morning, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to this edition of our daily Lenten devotions. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you. The gospel message that I've picked today to look at is from the 8th chapter of the Gospel of John. It's a story that's not found in any of the other Gospels, but it's one that's probably very familiar to you. Hear these words from the Gospel of John. While Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, early in the morning he came again to the temple. All the people came to him, and he sat down and began to teach them. The scribes and Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery, and making her stand before all of them, they said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now in the law Moses commanded us to stone such a woman. Now what do you say?" They said this to test him, so that they might have some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and wrote with his finger on the ground. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let anyone among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Once again he bent down and wrote on the ground. When they heard it, they went away, one by one, beginning with the elders. Jesus was left alone with the woman standing before him. Jesus straightened up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" And she said, "No one, sir." And Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go your way, and from now on, do not sin again." Jesus is teaching, and the Pharisees bring to him a woman that they say wasn't just thought to have committed adultery. She was actually caught in the act of committing adultery. And they come to him and say, "Now the law of Moses says that we must stone her. What say you?" They think that they have trapped Jesus. They believe that Jesus is only going to have two choices here. Jesus is either going to say, "Let her go," in which case the charge they will bring is, "This man thinks he's better than Moses. Moses said to stone her, and he defies the law of Moses." Or, remember, Jerusalem is an occupied territory. Israel's not a country anymore. This is simply occupied territory in the Roman government. Rome gave the Jews, the citizens of Israel, Palestine at the time, a lot of freedom, but they were not free to pass death sentences. That's why Jesus had to go before Pilate to be sentenced to death. If Jesus said stone her, then the charge could be to the Romans. He demanded an execution. So they think they've got him caught. Either they can charge him in front of all the Jews, he thinks he's greater than Moses, or they can charge him in front of the Romans, he thinks he's greater than Caesar and can pronounce death sentences. And Jesus, genius that he is, simply begins to write in the ground. There has been so much debate over what was written. Some will say he was writing individual sins that people were able to look down and see, but it really doesn't matter. Jesus says, "Let the one that was without sin cast the first stone." And the people walked away, and I love where it says, "beginning with the elders," because as you get older and wiser, you realize that you're not quite as perfect as you once thought you were. The elders recognized that they too had sinned on many occasions. And so finally everyone's gone, and Jesus is there with this woman that was caught in adultery. Just the two of them. St. Augustine said there were only two left, mercy and misery. And mercy looks at misery and says, "Is there no one to condemn you?" And she says, "No, Lord, no one." And Jesus said, "Therefore I condemn you not. Now go and sin no more." Jesus is letting us know what he had said 5 chapters earlier in chapter 3, that the Son of Man did not come into the world to condemn the world, but that through him the world might be saved. Jesus is giving this woman a chance for repentance, a chance to turn her life around, a chance to die to old self and be born anew in following this Lord. I wonder if she knew who it was that was extending her this grace. I'm sure she found out later. God still does the same. God still says to us, I forgive you. I forgive you of those sins. Now go and sin no more. We're expected, as I said Sunday in the sermon, to have a heart transplant. A whole new outlook at life, to die to our old desires and wants and needs, and to begin to live for Christ, to live in a life that is Christ-like. Reach out to God today. Seek that heart transplant. Know that Christ condemns you not for the sins that you have committed, but is saying, go and sin no more. Live a life worthy of being called a follower of mine, says Christ. Until next time, the Lord bless and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Peace. See y'all next time.